Hello, I'm Judy. Welcome to my craft studio. Today, come and join me while I make my very first junk journal. The last couple of days I've been designing this digital paper, putting together in various sheets and forms and layouts to put this junk journal together. Been doing a little research exactly what I've been needing. I've been wanting to do one for a long time. So come with me as I go through this process of putting together this really cute journal. I have experience putting together notebook folios, and so I'm going to use that experience and knowledge to put the book together using that knowledge. And I think this will come out really cute and interesting and full of all kinds of surprises. These digital prints and layouts for this junk journal is available on my website for free. If you want to download it, you can make one of these also. Definitely show me what you're making as you go. I like to see how yours turns out. All right, let's get started. This is a collage of some of my pattern paper that I put together. Didn't that come out very pretty? All kinds of flowers and butterflies and floral odds and ends in these papers. And I can collage them together on this digital paper. And I sprayed like a little glitter gloss on there also. And so each of these papers has some of these color elements in them. So this is what the front and back of one of the files will look like. This will be the front of it, and it'll fold down the middle. And this will be the back portion. And inside is one of the prints of the collage. So I cut these off to measure about 4 1/4 by about 5 1/2 inches tall. And the book itself will be just a smidge bigger, about 6 inches tall by about 4 3/4 wide. And the spine is about 1 1/4 inches thick. So on each of these, I printed a solid on one side and a print on the other. Consider that the solid, even though it's a little distressed looking, and a flower on the other side. Then I made some different sheets so I can make some of the components of the junk journal here. These will be some tri-folds that will go inside of the junk journal. Another tri-folds. And here's some pockets and sleeves for the inside. And I kept what I cut out of the folders here. I figured I could use some of this for some of the tags. Some more just of the solids here. Can't go wrong with plenty of solids. So I probably printed off more than I needed, but I'd rather be prepared for what I might need than not have enough and have to go stop and print some. Then I went ahead and printed out some additional folders here with like some embedded junk journal writing areas in here. And it's got a print on one side, some more areas to write on this one, and a little ticket stub, another area to write, and more pockets and sleeves, and things in little areas for tag, another tri-fold, some pockets, and some tags and pictures here. And I thought this came out really pretty. And one of the folios I'm going to put a distressed paper in. Instead of crinkling up my paper, I went ahead and printed copies, pictures of crinkled paper. So each one of these is slightly different. My printer actually crinkled some of these for me. So this came out pretty interesting here. Another of the solid of the collage. All right, I think we got enough here to get started. I can always stop and print some more if we need to, or just grab from my cardstock supply. Got a lot of findings and elements and stuff we're going to add to this, and hopefully I don't overdo it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Come join me. This is the book section of the junk journal that I'll be making next. This is the outside cover that I'm going to be using. One of the collage of all the prints or most of the prints that I'll be incorporating today in this project. What I'm going to be doing is putting a front and back cover on here. This is that double-sided cardboard, and this in the middle. Since that 8 1/2 by 11 isn't long enough to fold over, this is where I'm going to be incorporating that faux leather down the middle. And that way this can come out and I'll have something to fold over on here. So to do that, I'm going to cut this paper right down the middle. Half of 11 is 5 1/2. And since I got like a white edge here, I want to make sure this is on the edge of my cover. So on these covers here, I did round some corners. This is going to be the ends of the book that you can fill, and this is going to be near the spine where the pointy section is, and that's the part I'm going to put right here on the edge. So I'm going to secure this down with a little bit of glue and double-sided tape. I'm just going to put along the edges here. With this tape, I'm just going to pull it partially away back And same on this corner here. That way I will have a little spot to get started, and I can start pulling back the other tapes. Once I know everything is lined up, I'm going to fold over a little bit at the top and the bottom and match that exactly to the side there. And push down those sticky areas, and I'm just going to pull out the rest of that tape. And almost forgot some glue. Just going to dab a little bit of glue on the inside. Glue down real well. Alright, let's pull out these tabs here that's left. Alright, any of this little excess here I'm just going to trim off and leave about the same amount over here on this side. Little scrap we can hopefully use for something. Okay, I'm just going to angle in on these corners so it's not too thick and bulky here. I'm going to kind of mark where I'm going to be cutting. Alright, what I like to do is just instead of just bending this cardstock over, I'm just going to score it so it bends a little bit, less chance of it breaking. Just like that. And just kind of bend it over. And then once it's bent over, you can go ahead and glue that down. Alright, we got the other side done. This is the spine portion, and I'm going to be leaving about 1/8 of an inch. And before I glue this onto the faux leather, I'm going to put my template on here and punch out the holes where my signatures are going to attach to. So I'm just lining up those lines I made on the spine with the lines on the template, kind of in the center of everything, and just go ahead and mark 3 holes for each signature, or a total of 9 holes. And let's get out my punch board and punch these holes out. Now I'm not worried about these holes being seen on the outside of the journal because I'm going to be using a upholstery needle to thread it through and punch through the vinyl and the paper. Okay, I cut a piece of faux leather, approximately 3 inches by 8 inches. That will give me plenty of working room. I went ahead and colored the edges here so you wouldn't see this backing. I'm going to mark the middle of this. So that's about 3 inches, so 1.5 inches is the middle. Alright, so it'll go about right here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And I'm going to bring this so there's about 1/8 of an inch. That'll give enough room for the book to turn freely. Put a little double-sided tape on here. I'm just going to put this under something heavy while it dries, and then we can go ahead and attach this to the front and back cover. Okay, this is the spine has glued well onto the faux leather now, and I put a little bit of double-sided tape here along the edges, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here between the spine. And you want a gap of about 1/8 of an inch between your covers and your spine. It looks good. Take that off, just line that up, press it down. And same on this side, about 1/8 of an inch. Alright, I just glued down the rest of that faux leather into the inside of the book. And while that's finishing up drying there, I'm going to measure how much of paper that we're going to need to cross here. And we will need, I want it not quite to the end, I want a little bit of the front cover to be seen. So let's measure, say, 10 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now after I cover this, I'll be able to tell where those holes are by with just a little pressure to the back. Fill them right there on through the faux leather. So we'll know exactly where we're going to thread our binding through. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on here, and then on here I'm going to put double-sided tape on the inside portion of here so that paper stays nice and flat on there. And I'm going to pull this tape off first and then put a little glue in here and then add this down. Set this to the side. I'm going to remove this double-sided tape. And this one I'm going to do that method of where I'm just going to peel it back partially. On this, I'm going to put some glue in here. Alright, this is a long piece. It's even more important to make sure it doesn't go on crooked. one more. There we go. Alright, now you want to do now is make sure everything is down really well. I'm just going to press this nice and firm. And then here, where the book's going to bend, I am going to score it first with my fingernail, just to find out where it's at. There we go. I think the term is called training your book to bend. Alright, I'm gonna put this in here until that glue has dried. Look at that. That is so freaking awesome, isn't it? Look at that. It is turning out great. Alright, so next thing to be done would be put in the signatures.